Lionel Messi. Honestly, whether you're a diehard football fanatic or you literally just catch the occasional highlight reel, you definitely know the name. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking exactly how a kid from Argentina became an absolute global icon. We're going to dig into the tactical secrets behind his dominance, look at the different places he's playing now, and really figure out why his popularity transcends the sport entirely. Let's just dive right in.
Get this, 46. That is the number of team trophies Lionel Messi has hoisted. He is, officially, the most decorated player in the entire history of professional football. And if you add to that a record 8 Ballon d'Or awards, meaning he was recognized as the absolute best player in the world 8 different times, you're looking at an unprecedented level of dominance. It's a run that completely reshaped the modern sporting landscape.
But here's the thing about this godlike status. This whole face of modern football persona, it wasn't achieved by just relying on his raw talent and staying the exact same player year after year. No way. It was achieved by constantly adapting, evolving, and completely reinventing himself over 2 decades.
To really understand this evolution, here's our roadmap for today. 1. The boy from Rosario. 2. The tactical chameleon. 3. Paris to Inter Miami. 4. Rivalry and World Cup glory. And finally 5. More than a footballer.
Section 1. The boy from Rosario and how he got so popular.
You know, to really understand the icon, you have to look back at his working-class roots in the La Bajada neighborhood of Rosario, Argentina. His path to superstardom was anything but guaranteed. As a kid, he was diagnosed with a growth deficit that honestly threatened to end his football dreams before they even really began. Yet, his talent was just undeniable. A childhood instructor who saw him play at age 12 actually called him a gift from God, saying there was literally nothing left to teach him. He was out there doing things at 12 that seasoned pros couldn't pull off. But the medical treatments he needed to grow, they were incredibly expensive.
So at just 13 years old, he crosses the Atlantic and moves to Spain. FC Barcelona's famed La Masia Academy steps in and agrees to foot the bill for his medical treatments. By 2004, he makes his first team debut. And this is a really crucial point. Barcelona's intervention didn't just give him a career, it forged this fierce, unbreakable loyalty. Later on, when he was offered mind-boggling, record-breaking money to go play in England or Russia, he said no. He stayed loyal to the club that believed in him when he was just a vulnerable kid.
Section 2. The tactical chameleon, evolving on the pitch.
Messi's career is essentially a masterclass in adapting to aging and shifting team dynamics. When he first broke onto the scene under manager Frank Rijkaard, he was this raw, explosive right winger. He basically lived on the touchline. His signature move? He'd pick up the ball, use his blistering pace to completely devastate defenders, and cut inside on that lethal left foot of his. It was pure, unadulterated speed and instinct.
But then came a massive tactical shift. Enter Pep Guardiola in 2009. Guardiola moved Messi off the wing and right into the center, deploying him as a false 9. So instead of waiting up top, actually, scratch that. Instead of just acting as a traditional striker, Messi dropped deep into the midfield. This left opposing center backs with an impossible choice. Do you step up and leave a ton of space behind you, or stay back and just let Messi dictate the whole game? The result was pure destruction. This system-breaking role is what led to his staggering calendar year in 2012, where he scored a literally mind-blowing 91 goals.
But, well, nobody can outrun time, right? As his physical speed naturally started to fade, his mind just got even faster. He transitioned from an explosive winger and pure goal scorer into an enganche, which translates to the hook, the ultimate playmaker. He dropped even deeper to become the absolute engine of his teams. Instead of just finishing the attacks, he started dictating the entire rhythm of the match, often racking up way more assists than goals in his later European seasons.
Section 3. Paris to Inter Miami, and where he plays now.
So, this incredible tactical evolution we just talked about, it actually maps perfectly to his geographic journey across the globe. In 2021, the sports world was genuinely shell-shocked when he departed Barcelona. But it's super important to note, this wasn't driven by him wanting to leave. It was strictly due to the club's crippling financial constraints and strict league regulations. He tearfully relocated to Paris Saint-Germain for 2 seasons, added a few more league titles to his cabinet, and then made another massive shift in 2023, joining Inter Miami in Major League Soccer. Which brings us to his current era right here in the United States. And let me tell you, the energy in Miami is electric. Down there, he has totally perfected his role as the walking maestro. He conserves his physical energy only to deliver these devastating, decisive blows when it counts. His impact was literally instant.
He led Inter Miami to their first-ever Leagues Cup trophy right after he arrived and incredibly quickly became the club's all-time top goal scorer. He has completely electrified the league.
Section 4. Rivalry and World Cup glory, the true catalyst for his global fame. While his club career is obviously legendary, we really have to talk about the competitive catalysts that supercharged his global popularity. You simply cannot tell the story of Messi without mentioning Cristiano Ronaldo. For 9 incredible seasons over in Spain, this media-fueled rivalry totally captivated the world. It was a clash of absolute titans with wildly contrasting styles. Ronaldo was celebrated for his unbelievable physical attributes and relentless goal scoring, while Messi was lauded for his magical dribbling and playmaking vision. Even their personalities were polar opposites. Ronaldo was the fiery, outgoing superstar, and Messi the quiet, reserved maestro. It was a rivalry that forced both of them to unimaginable, unprecedented heights.
But for a lot of people, the ultimate debate was finally settled in Qatar. This is where we saw yet another evolution of Messi. The usually quiet, introverted player transformed into this incredibly vocal, defiant captain. Carrying the weight of an entire nation on his shoulders, he ended Argentina's painful 28-year trophy drought with back-to-back Copa Americas, and then the absolute crown jewel, the 2022 FIFA World Cup. He basically synthesized every past version of himself into one ultimate performance to lift that golden trophy.
Section 5. More than a footballer and exactly why he is so popular.
You know, what makes Messi so universally beloved is how surprisingly relatable he is. Despite being quite literally one of the most famous men on planet Earth, he married his childhood sweetheart, Antonella Roccuzzo, the girl who knew him way before anyone else did. Together, they raised their 3 sons totally away from the typical celebrity drama, and fans really crave that stability. Furthermore, stemming directly from his own childhood medical struggles, he's deeply dedicated to UNICEF, helping vulnerable children all around the world. It's this quiet, genuine humanity that makes his totally extraordinary life feel so wonderfully grounded.
It all really comes back to this powerful thought from his own childhood idol, Pablo Aimar, who said, "The last Messi is always the best Messi." I think that perfectly summarizes the overarching theme of this explainer. His true greatness doesn't just come from his magical left foot. It comes from his endless capacity for reinvention. From the explosive winger, to the false 9, to the deep playmaker, to the defiant, World Cup-winning captain.
Which leaves us with one final provocative thought. As he continues to just dominate over in Miami, the 2026 World Cup is rapidly approaching on the horizon. We've seen that he has reinvented himself time and time again to stay at the absolute pinnacle of the sport. So the question is, what will the final chapter of this unprecedented career actually look like? Does Lionel Messi have one final reinvention left in him? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.